back to my channel, The Sugar Sean, back for another video. In this video today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a letter that was sent to me from one of you. Before I get into all of that, if you're brand new to my channel, you may not know it, but I'm actually a life and dating coach. I'm the author of 3 books. The first one's called The Dating Game, How to Find Yourself While Looking for Mr. Right. My second book, Breaking the Man Code, The Key to Unlocking His Heart. And my third book, Getting Unstuck, How to Create the Life You've Always Wanted to Live. They're all available on Amazon, Kindle, BarnesandNoble.com, and I'll be sure to link all 3 of my books below so you guys can check them out. And if you want to work with me as your personal life and dating coach, or if you'd like to submit your letter for a chance to possibly have it featured in an upcoming video, send me an email to itscoachshawn@gmail.com. That's itscoachshawn, SHAWN @gmail.com. All right, so now without any further ado, let's go get them. Now, I will say really quickly, in the subject line of her letter, she writes that she wants me to give her my blunt advice, and I promise you I will, because there's a lot of foolishness in this letter. We're gonna jump right into it. Anyway, so hello, my name is, I'm not gonna say her name. She said, I'm now 39 years old. I met a man on Facebook who reached out to me back in February 2019. He was 47 at the time, and of course he told me he was single. I made sure of that before I even gave him my number. Went on a few dates with him. From the beginning, he was asking me about my dreams and my goals. I began to tell him that I wanted to own a few group homes and rent out to VAs and people who are on SSI. Also, during the first date, we spoke about how neither of us was ready for a relationship right now. I had told him that I just got out of a 5-year relationship before meeting him. Then before that 5-year relationship, I was in a long-term 15-year relationship with my older 3 kids' father. So I was cool on being single for a while. However, this guy and I started spending so much time together. He would call me all day long, and we would speak and see each other a lot during the working days and on the weekends. I worked at home as a medical coder, and that gave me a lot of flex time. He is a licensed contractor who owns 17 residential homes. I would come and chill with him sometimes at the house that he lived at. First of all, it's one of his properties, but his 2 older sisters stay there as well. It's a 3-bedroom, and he has his room there. The room looks like a teenager's room. It has a full-size bed, 1 dresser, and a TV on the wall. Had lots of clothes and shoes tucked into a tote. He had mentioned to me back in April that he had sold his bigger house to his older brother. Now thinking back on it, I believe that he told me that thinking that I would understand that this was a temporary living situation, and that's why he was living in his own investment property with his sisters. Okay, so like in May, we agreed to try the group home thing out. I did all of my research and networking with hospitals and caseworkers while he went out and purchased the home, and then he renovated it and made it a 4-bedroom and furnished it all with his own money. The name of our business, I'm not going to say the name of her business. We agreed that I will get the rent from 1 bedroom of each house that we do. Now we have 2 houses. I get the rent from 2 rooms total. He also paid me to go to real estate school because I told him that was one of my goals at the time. I completed that as well. Well, outside of the business ventures, I started becoming suspicious after a few months. Like, I will talk to him all day, but after 7 or 8 p.m. during the weekdays, I wouldn't hear from him. Sometimes I would call him and he wouldn't even answer at night. Then the next morning he would call me around 7 or 9 a.m. as if nothing ever happened. He would tell me that he was asleep or whatever. I noticed he would talk to me all day until he pulled up into his driveway and then tell me that he would call me later and that he was going to sleep. Girl. No ma'am. No, ma'am, I'm gonna get you. Anyway, now on the weekends, we would go out and do stuff together, and he would tell me to meet him at his house, but I would notice that I would sometimes beat him there. And I would ask, why am I beating you here if you supposedly live here? Fast forward 6 months later, I had a second job delivering Amazon packages, and I noticed that the house had 2 of the same vehicles that looked identical to his. So I took a picture of it, and come to find out, it was a house that his son's mother lives at. He told me that sometimes he would go there to visit his son. I saw the house and the cars, and I knew that it was hers. So I put it all together, and he admitted that he lives there, but only for his son, who is 7 years old at the time. He told me the story that he has 2 older boys who are 26 and 27, and they are in and out of jail because he was absent out of their lives for the 6 years that he was in jail. He states that he was doing everything right for his younger son, so he claims that's the only reason why he's there, and it's because of his son. He stated that he's not changing that for any woman and that his son comes first. Okay, so I asked him if he he was in a relationship with his son's mom, and he says no. I asked if they were being intimate, and he says he doesn't even mess with her like that. I say, so you're telling me that you live there and you don't sleep with her? I kind of believe him for a while because we would go to concerts, movies out of town, we would hang out all the time. He had so much freedom. It was hard to believe they were together, so I believed him. Then he told me that he didn't do the overnight thing, and I also noticed that he didn't get my text messages. He would tell me that he deleted all the text messages from his phone. That's when I started to believe that they were in fact together. So after a year, I asked him, what are we doing? I haven't been with anybody else but him. I haven't been dating anyone else but him. I lost all the other male associates because I gave all my time to this guy. When I try to talk to another guy, I always think about him. So then his son's mom and I have a mutual friend. I had him inbox her for a while to see if she would talk to him, and he said that she told him that she has a whole family and that she's in a relationship. So I screenshotted that and I sent it to him, and he still denied it. At this point, I'm emotionally drained. I don't know what to do and why it's so hard for me to let this man go. I tried so many times, and I only last a few weeks before I give in to his texts and his calls. How do I break this soul tie, especially now that we actually have a business together? Do I walk away from both? But the main thing I want to talk about is the fact that just because a man does not confess to cheating doesn't mean that he's not cheating. You know, a man could be caught buck naked with another woman in the bed and still say that he never touched her, that he doesn't know the woman. Like, you're waiting for a confession and you may never get it. I don't know how many signs and clues that you have to get, that you have to willfully ignore for you to finally get it. She's not the other woman, honey, you are. That woman was there first. She's got his 7-year-old son. He goes to bed every night laying next to her. I don't care what he tells you. And the fact that he has 17 properties, if that's even true, he has so many opportunities for him to just, come and go as he pleases. He can tell her that he's busy all day. You didn't think there's anything crazy about the fact that your boyfriend can't talk to you after 7 p.m. and then at 7 a.m. he can talk to you? He's giving you business hours. This man has a family, has a relationship, even with the fact that you had a friend, try to contact her, try to holler at her just for her to say, I'm in a relationship, I got a whole family, and you still taking him at his word. That's why he keeps lying to you, because you keep accepting it. You're waiting on a confession that you will never get. Why were you letting him do so much for you financially? Why did you let him pay for real estate school and rent out these houses and giving you rent money? And why did you go into business with this man that you didn't want to be with? I think that he used that to make you feel obligated, used that to make you fall for him. I feel like you are choosing to be blind in this situation because you don't want to face the fact that you are with somebody else's man. You're trying to act like you don't know and you're not sure and what should I do? You know exactly what you should do. Leave that man alone. Not only is he a liar, and then he has the nerve to be like trying to guilt trip you. I've been a bad father in the past, and I got this son now, and I don't want to not be in his life. I don't care who. My son comes before everyone. Good. Well, then go be with this woman and raise your son. But you can't have that and me too. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're giving him an ultimatum. He could be a good father, but he's trying to pull on your heartstrings as a mother. You said you already have at least 3 children. He's trying to pull on your heartstrings, trying to make you feel like, look, I'm trapped. I gotta be with her. Like there isn't more than one way to be a father to his son. As long as you accept his excuses, he will continue to give them to you. I need you to let all of this go. Get out of business with this man. Like, he wanted you guys to be all tangled up so that it would be hard for you to leave. When you found all of this out, it would be hard for you to cut ties with him. But all he has done to you is lie to you. Like, why do you trust anything that he says? He always has to get caught before he finally confesses. You see the 2 cars in the driveway, you know what? Yeah, I am living there. Like, what? Why couldn't he say that before? And then he has he has a room at his sister's place. Everybody is in on it except for you. And then he would tell you that he would meet you at his house, but then you would beat him at his own house? Like, how many signs and clues do you need? You keep confronting him, and he keeps breadcrumbing you and gaslighting you and making you feel like don't even trust your own mind. You already know everything that you need to know to leave this relationship, but you're looking for an excuse. You're looking for permission. I don't know why you got in business with this man and allowed yourself to get all tangled up with him. He always wanted something in return. That's why he was so free with his money. He tried to buy you. And in a way, he did. All it took was the rent from 2 of those properties to get you all caught up in him. There's nothing else that you need to see, nothing else you need to experience. You already know what to do. You already know what kind of man that he is, but you're just not ready. You're not ready because there's really no reason for you to have written me. You're not ready to leave him. You got to think to yourself, if it's this easy for him to lie to you, what else has he lied about? You chose to ignore all of the signs that you saw along the way. You chose to ignore your women's intuition telling you something's wrong here, and you're waiting for him to tell you something that you already know. That's the thing. That's the reason why I want to do this letter, because there's so many women out there who know the answer, who are waiting for it, who are looking for excuses and looking for permission to do what they already know they need to do. If you know the man is cheating, why are you waiting for him to confess? There's too much at risk here. He's risking your life, risking your heart, risking your health. For what? So you can have a little piece of man that you have to share? He says he wants to be a good father. Well, then let him be. There's more than one way to be a good father, but he's trying to manipulate you. He knows that you're a mother, and you may have told him what life was like for you and your kids growing up. He knows how to manipulate you, and you allow yourself to be manipulated. Should you let go of both? Absolutely. Let go of the personal relationship and the business one. He wanted to make it complicated for you to leave him. That's why he's got himself all tied up with you with business. He said he's not going to leave her, so as long as he's with her, he can never be yours. So what are you waiting around for? And it's like, after talking about your past history, I see this is what you do. 5 years of this guy, 15 years of this guy. You're so used to unavailable men. You're so used to wasting your time, but you didn't even see what this was. You're not learning anything. You're not learning any of these lessons. You just keep repeating them, man after man after man, until you get it. You see the warning signs and you don't run at the first sign. You need to run at the first sign of trouble. That's not what you do. Do it now, though. You've already spent this much time with this man, and you've already spent longer with this man than you should have. Do it now. Get out while you can. Don't give another man who doesn't want to be with you forever, don't give him another chunk of your life. Life is too short to be wasting 5 and 15 years on men who don't want just you. You got to know that. You deserve a man who only wants you. You clearly have what it takes to run a successful business. He already sent you to real estate school. Like, he knew he was setting you up. He was doing everything that you wanted him to do and being everything you wanted him to be. And as long as you chose to ignore obvious things like, my man can't be reached after 7. He says he has 17 properties, but yet he's living with his sisters in a back room and all his clothes and shoes are in the back. No, that's his getaway place. That's his second home. That's not where he lays his head. And when he told you that he was living with her, you knew what that meant, but you weren't ready to cut it off. How was there even a need for you to have the friend try to holler at his baby's mother? Why even go that far? Like, what all do you need to see? He will never confess. What are you going to do about it? This is the kind of man that will lie to the very end. You can catch him in bed with another woman and he'll still say, I don't know her. Who is this? You got to do what's best for you, because clearly he's doing what's best for him. Let him go. Let the business go. Let this fake pseudo relationship go. Let her have him, because he was actually hers from the beginning. I don't care what reason he has to still be with another woman. He's still with her. That's where he goes every night. That's where he lays his head every night. And if you think they're not having sex, you are crazy. Yes, he is. That's why that woman is glad to profess to anybody on Facebook, I got a whole relationship. That is her man. I don't care what he told you. Anyway, that is pretty much it. I love you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to thumbs up if you did. If you want to hear more of my thoughts and opinions on life and love, consider purchasing one of my books. As I said in the beginning, I've written 3. The first one's called The Dating Game, How to Find Yourself While Looking for Mr. Right. My second book, Breaking the Man Code, The Key to Unlocking His Heart. And my third book, Getting Unstuck, How to Create the Life You've Always Wanted to Live. They're all available at Amazon, Kindle, BarnesandNoble.com. And if you want to work with me as your personal life and dating coach, send me an email to itscoachshawn@gmail.com. That's itscoachshawn, SHAWN @gmail.com. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on today's letter. What do you think that she should do? Do you think that men ever confess? Because just because he doesn't confess doesn't mean he's not cheating. Like, No, I think that's crazy. And if you love this video, you're sure to love my last video. I'll be sure to link it right here and be sure to subscribe right here. Till next time, later divas and dudes. Deuces, honey.